Hey, what is going on, guys? It is Player NegativeAE, and welcome back to Steins Gate 0. Last we left off, we were staring at a blue sky, so don't be alarmed at where we are now. So, I have been told that a lot of the scenes in the bad ending share the same scenes with the Maori ending. So we're going to try to speed that up, and I'm going to try to skip past whatever I can. And then when I come to another point where I feel like I haven't seen it before or something like that, I will go ahead and cut to that. And then my phone started to vibrate. It was from the Amadeus Kudisu. Let's answer it.
Hi.
Hello? What? Why is your voice so low? So this is interesting because I think when they left for America last time, they took it away from me. They took away the Amadeus or whatever. So now that I have it, I don't know. Please don't call me when I'm busy with stuff. Because we know Kudisu is being used by Dr. Leskinen now. You're 24 hours a day, or do you want me observing you while you sleep or while you're taking a bath? You're quite the pervert, aren't you? I'm sorry. If you don't want to talk to me when I call you, just don't pick up. I won't get mad about something like that. That's true. Well, it looks like you're busy now, so I'll do what you want and I'll hang up. You're right. It's probably pretty weird for the rest of the cafe to see you talking to a 3D model of a girl on your phone. Come on. I'm kidding. You always take the time to talk to me, and well, I am grateful. We can talk about that some other time. I'm hanging up. Hey, wait. Kudisu always talks so much. The real one used to talk a lot too. Talking to her in a place like this always drew a lot of attention and made me feel awkward. Looking at a screen and talking was embarrassing. Was all. Looking at a screen and talking was embarrassing was all. So I once proposed that I once proposed that I talk to her like I was on a normal phone. And this is what she said. Why do I have to stare at a close-up of the side of your ear or your head? I just am freaking 40 and slip. She was really a selfish little program. Alright, this looks familiar. Alright, so I'm going to try and cut here, and then I'm going to skip as much as I can, and I will see you guys back at the next change. Alright, we're back. Not even a couple moments later. And we have this. I'm just going to answer her every time. There's nothing really, there's no consequence to not answering it, or answering it. What's up? Are you out shopping? Yeah. With Maori. Ooh, a date? Mainstream woman. I've told you to stop calling me that. And stop assuming everything is about romance. Right. Fine. But isn't Mayuri cute? You're lucky to have such a cutie as your childhood friend. You're right. Maho doesn't stand a chance at this rate. Sigh. She's not as cute, she's not as young, she's shorter, and her boobs are just hopeless. What? I feel so bad for her. If you say that in front of Hyajo, she'll delete your program. You know, you actually haven't introduced me to Maori. You got quite a few friends, but you've never told me about any of them, or any of them about me. It's a secrecy thing. I'm not supposed to tell people about you. Is that really all it is? You actually don't want people seeing me talk to you, do you? That's not true. If you really want me to introduce you, I'll get permission from Hyaja. I'll start by introducing you to Daru, the man I trust the most. He'd just love to talk to you. He'll stare at me with his filthy eyes, constantly panting after me 24 hours a day, right? Perverts scare me. Kurisu went pale and started to shake. I told Kurisu all kinds of things about what kind of person Daru was. She could easily imagine what would happen if she ever fell into his clutches. Never mind. You don't have to introduce me to anyone. I'll just keep telling myself that I'm lucky to have you to talk to. Oh, that was... I'm glad I read that fast, because that wasn't a thing that I couldn't control. Mary walked over carrying a shopping basket. Huh? Who were you talking to? I looked down at my phone and Kurisu had disappeared and my smartphone was back at its home screen. Evidently Kurisu had hung up. Another student from school. I see. I knew I didn't have to hide Kurisu, but at the same time, Mary was the one person I didn't want finding out. She knew that I'd failed to save Kurisu Makase last summer. What did you say you're gonna buy? Okay, so we're back on the normal Mayori storyline. I'm just gonna keep going, and then whenever Kurisu pops up, because we never had Kurisu before, I'm gonna come back. So I'll see you guys in a few minutes, maybe. Okay, we're back. So Dr. Leskinen, I don't remember. I think he said Maho was back in America last time, right? Right? But this time he says Maho's here too. Really? So Maho is now here at the hospital with Dr. Leskinen because she was brainwashed. She didn't say a word about it. I talked to her often via email and video chat, but mostly about Amadeus' testing, and she hadn't said a word about coming to Japan. I hadn't heard anything about it from Kurisu either. We're back in the same office at Wako City. Come by anytime you like, and bring Kurisu. I told them to find us a different place after we got robbed last time, but Dr. Leskinen looked up towards the ceiling and shrugged. It did feel like that place had security issues. Are you not feeling well? Did you come here for treatment? So is it gonna go back to... I think it is. Alright, so if I notice anything different, I'll come back and I will let you guys know. See you guys in a few minutes. The news has been saying for days that the heat of them make this the hottest summer in a year. And then on the first Sunday in July, I met with Maho and Akibara. Okay, we're back. So I just finished the fight scene with, Suzuha and what's her name? Kagari. Quotes. And then I'm meeting up with Maho, and this cannot be the same because she's brainwashed now, right? I was sitting at an open cafe at the UPX when Maho arrived. She was a little late. It's been a while. She ordered a nice coffee and took a deep breath. But we talk to each other all the time on video chat. That's right. It doesn't feel like it's been that long. Her habit of paying no attention to her clothes or looks hadn't changed at all in the last 6 months. People are going to think that she was an elementary school kid who decided to go play at a friend's house. But it would upset her if I said that, so I never would.
まさかこっちに来てるとは思わなかったよ。
I had no idea you were here.
偶然レスキネン教授と
If I hadn't happened to see Dr. Leskinen, I would have never found out.
落ち着いたら連絡するつもりだったのよ。
I was going to contact you once things calmed down.
クリスのことで定期
We
的な
needed
連
to
絡
talk to
は
each other
全
about
部
Kurusu at some point eventually.
今回は新型脳炎の研究だって。
You hear about the new encephalitis cases.
レスキネン教授はね、
Dr. Leskinen is, at least.
私はその助手という立場だけど、
I'm his assistant, so, but I'm mostly in charge of Amadeus.
何か不具合はない？
Have there been any problems?
これも
I assume not, since I'm still getting my usual reports.
ああ、特に問題ない。
Yeah, nothing really.
最近はクリスの相手をするのに苦労。
Lately, it's been a struggle to deal with Kurusu, though.
ちょっと
Hey. What? I heard a voice from my smartphone, which I placed on the table.
苦労ってどういう意味？
What do you mean by struggle? I left the Amadeus app turned on. Why would you do that? Of course, Kurusu could hear everything we said.
最初に会った頃よりちょっと口調がきつくなってき
She's
た。
gotten a little ruder since we first met.
あんたが勝手に私にビビってるだけでしょ？
You're just afraid of me for no reason is all.
かもな。
Maybe. It was turning our old relationship into in the Alpha World line. It was turning into our old relationship in the Alpha World line where we fought all the time. I was starting to lose track of whether that was a good or bad thing for me. I thought I was trying to forget about Kurusu.
ヒアジョーさんは初めて会った時の方が
You were pretty rude when we first met.
あれは
That was...
初対面の人には先輩はき
She's rough on people when she meets them for the first time. You know why?
年相応に見ても
Because
ら
they
えないから
refuse to treat me like I'm my real age. The two of them spoke in unison.
だからついカリカリしちゃうの
So
よ。
I always get upset.
ある程度親しくなれば
Once I get to know someone, they stop talking about my appearance, right?
だ
So
か
I
ら
can speak
心
more
を
normally
穏や
around
かに
them
話
is
せる
all.
だけ
I guess I was right not to comment on her outfit. That was a close
ア
call.
マデウスの話に戻すけど、
Anyway, back to Amadeus.
クリスの口調がきつくなったという
It's an interesting sign that Kurusu is developing a bit of a sharp tongue.
私や教授の前では見せない
It's a side of her
でしょ？
that she never shows me or the professor, right?
それだけ深く心を開いてい
That may
る
be a sign of how much
と
she's
も言え
opened
るか
up
も
to
し
you.
れない。開いてません。
I have not. Maho smiled and ignored her.
そうした心の動きを
We can analyze those psychological changes as code.
私や教授と話しているだけでは
This is a change we never would have seen if she'd only been speaking to me and the professor.
それだけで岡部さんにテ
That
ストを
alone
続けてもら
means
った
we
価
were
値があ
right
る
to
と
keep
い
you
う
on
も
as
の
a
よ。
tester.
そんなものか。
Is that how it works?
レスキネン教授もその点を
Leskinen,
高く評価して
Dr.
いた
Leskinen was very impressed by this too.
過大評価だと思いますが
I think you're giving him too much credit.
実際私と
In
話す
fact,
こと
whenever he talks to me, he's always complaining. He's not very manly, you know. So I'm confused because I know she's changed. I know she's different. Well, I knew my personality had gotten a bit negative, especially given what I've been through. But did she really need to say that to Maho right now? Eye for an eye it is then.
ちなみに今まで報告していな
I
かった
kind of want Maho to say something stupid, and then like my character to be, or Okabe to be like, "Wait a second, that's not right. Something in my head has changed, like I used to in the old one." By the way, there's something I haven't told you yet.
何かしら
What is it?
これはおそらくヒアジョー
It's
さんの
something I don't think
レスキネン
you and
教授
Dr.
も
Leskinen are
把握
aware
して
of.
いない。
待ってあんた
Wait,
何の
what are you gonna tell her?
真帆先輩や教授が把握していない
Something
こと
Maho and the professor don't know
私
about
につい
me?
ても
栗ご飯とカメハメハ。
Does the name Kurigohan and Kamehameha mean anything to you? A few weeks ago, I'd actually searched Kurigohan and Kamehameha on a whim. It was the handle Kurusu had used on that channel when she was still alive. From what I'd seen, the comments started in the summer of 2008 and abruptly stopped in July of 2010, and then started up again in the December of that same year. Even now, in July 2011, they were still appearing. If it wasn't Kurusu's ghost and it wasn't an imposter, then the one who could be writing those posts was... Okabe Rintaro, why don't we have a private chat?
やっぱりお前の仕業だった。
So it was you after all.
さすがに黙っているのはまずいな。
Don't you think it's a bad idea not to tell them? It's an even worse idea to tell Maho.
なんで
Why? Because I haven't breathed a word to her about me going on that channel.
堂々としていればいいじゃん。
Why hide it? It's not a crime to read or comment on that channel.
そうだろ
Isn't that right? At channel or Kurusu. Listen, call me that one more time, and I'll start making up gossip about you on that channel.
それこそ犯罪。
That's practically a crime, though. I couldn't help but laugh. Conversations like this brought back so many memories. I used to be so full of myself that I'd tick off Kurusu all the time. Hey, what are you talking about? Nothing. Don't worry about it. Delete all your memories of today from your hippocampus, please.
隠していたっていつかはバレるぞ。
You can hide it, but she's gonna find out eventually. You just shut up. It's even worse because Maho is brainwashed, and so like if we tell her, then like I don't know what his brainwashing does really. I know that he can alter stuff about like missions and stuff because he did it with Kagari, or quotes Kagari. Maho, I'm sorry. Why are you apologizing? No, just it's been so long since you and Okabe have seen each other, and I'm doing all the talking. So why don't you two take some time and chat? That's not what I meant. It's all Okabe's fault for saying something weird, isn't it?
そうなのか。
Is that true, Kurigohan and Kamehameha? Please don't say that. Just like the real Kurusu, she was strangely obsessed with hiding the fact that she was an at-channeler. I need to go cool off a little, so I'm gonna go hang out. Bye. Kurusu disappeared from the screen. Kurusu had been kind of rude lately, so it felt good to have a chance to get back at her. If I overdid it, she was probably going to hold a grudge, so this was likely a good place to stop. What's Kuri Gohan?
どうしても知りたかったら。
If you really want to know, ask Kurusu. If I explained it, she'd probably get mad and refuse to talk to me again.
それで。
So how long are you going to be staying here?
こっち
Might be longer than last time. We barely know anything about the new encephalitis Dr. Lesson is researching. It's possible that I'll be sent back on my own too.
時間があったらラボにも。
If you've got time, visit the lab. I'm sure Daru and Mayori would love to see you.
きっと喜ぶ。
Sure, but I don't know about Hashida. Maho was finally starting to understand Daru's true nature. Speaking of Daru, he should be on a date with Yuki Amane right now. By the way, what happened to Kurusu's laptop?
あれは
I destroyed it.
それが
It was the best thing to do. I explained that to you before, didn't I?
前
Yeah, you're right. She looked down, a sad expression on her face. I told her I was going to do it ahead of time, but it still must have upset her to see one of the last things she had to remember Kurusu by destroyed. Okay, so we're at the Brain Science Institute now, which is different because, again, only Dr. Lessinen showed up the last time, so I was never able to visit their office again because they weren't here, or I wasn't, I don't know. Brain Science Comprehensive Organization Jakarta and Wako City hadn't changed a bit in 6 months. It was still far from being what it needed to be, and it still was almost completely empty. There were rows and rows of empty desks. The normalness of Maho during that talk makes me think of like what like maybe Dr. Lessington has brainwashed her before. Like, how many people has he brainwashed? Because that was really normal. After Dr. Lessington had left, it probably remained unused. Sorry to call you out here like this, Rintaro.
Yeah.
Oh, it's fine. Dr. Lessington had told me he wanted to update the Amadeus app to the latest version, so I'd come to his office after class. Maho had connected my phone to her PC and began the process. He said it would only take them 10 minutes, so I was sitting around and waiting. By the way, Rintaro, I know we discussed this before, but would you seriously consider being an exchange student? Huh? If it doesn't bother you, I'd be willing to write a recommendation letter. Of course, you need to pass the test and the interviews. I frantically straightened my posture. That's a very tempting offer, but I don't think I've got the academic talent for it yet. My goal is to go to Victor Crondia University, so I really don't want to screw it up. And so I was planning on really buckling down and studying for at least another year. Dr. Leskinen pursed his lips as I tried to stammer out an explanation. But soon.
Okay.
He patted me on the shoulder and smiled. I knew you were a very thoughtful young man. Really? No one's ever told me that before. Saying it was one thing, but maybe I was just a coward. There were times when you needed the courage to move forward without being afraid of failure. But was now one of those times? So try it for another year then? Yes, maybe. Had I missed my chance? Would Dr. Lessington wait until next year? I started to get nervous. It's not good to obsess over things too much. I think even coming to visit would help your motivation. Visit? If the timing works out for you, we'd be willing to pay to have you visit. How about it? I don't know if that's a good idea. If I visit Dr. Leskinen, he's gonna brainwash me, 100%. I can't believe you do that for me. Thank you. Of course, I don't know when I'll be heading back to America next, so I can't exactly say when it'll be. Right. I bowed my head in gratitude. Meeting Dr. Leskinen was a real lucky break for me. By chance, my eyes met Maho's. For some reason, her smile was a little sad. She quickly looked away and went back to her work. I'm confused. What's happening in this bad ending? Ma was staying in a business hotel a few stops down from Wako City. She said she deliberately avoided staying in the same hotel as last time. It's not quite as convenient though. You know, why not clean up a little? She hadn't spent that much time in Japan and it was already messy. Clean up? I've got everything laid out in the most efficient manner for my use. Which meant she was refusing the hotel's cleaning service. You know, that's why you're never getting a boyfriend, right? I could hear courtesy from my phone. She was annoyed. After the app updated, I had left Amadeus running. Nobody asked you. Any normal person would have been embarrassed to invite someone over to a room like this. Well, cleaning wasn't a specialty of mine either. It wouldn't be right to give her too much of a hard time. So, what did you want to talk about? I come to Maho's hotel because she said she wanted to talk to me about something. I wouldn't have minded talking about it in the office, but she insisted on speaking alone in her hotel room. I knew she didn't mean anything by it. After knowing her for half a year, I knew she wasn't the type. So does Maho know? Like, what happened? What happened at that? Maybe she wasn't brainwashed? Maybe I'm just assuming? Maho looked like she was having trouble finding the words she wanted to say. She was brainwashed. You still haven't told me the truth about what happened to Kurisu. Okay. She's got to be brainwashed. She hasn't mentioned a word of it. She hasn't mentioned a word of it to me about Dr. Leskinen's plans. So, like, there's no way she's not brainwashed. I quickly shut down the Amadeus app. And I wanted to ask you about the time machine, too.
Time machine?
The time machine? You're the one who said Kurisu's paper was involved in Nakabachi's paper. Was she really working on a time machine? How should I answer that? Last time, she'd been trying to decrypt Kurisu's laptop. I was willing to tell her what I'd experienced in order to get her to stop. In the end, I'd lost the chance, though. But things were different now. Kurisu's laptop was gone. There was no reason to bring it up anymore. But then Maho said something I didn't expect. Here we go. Here's where I'm like, wait a second, she's brainwashed. Oh, please. Actually, oh no. Actually, I've been researching a time machine for the last 6 months along with my normal research. What? I thought if Kurisu could do it, so could I. It's just a silly rivalry, but maybe I'm just being stubborn. But, you know, if I could make a time machine, I told myself, maybe I could save Kurisu. Don't. This was awful. Why bring it up now? Maho was still haunted by Kurisu's death as much as I was. Don't get any stupid ideas. Don't try to save Kurisu Makise. It's impossible. The laws of God won't allow it. Then I was right. I was right. You know something, don't you? Maho got closer to me. Did she really do it? Did Kurisu really make a time machine? You used it to become the humanity's first time traveler, didn't you? I know you did. If I say yes to this, Dr. Leskinen's gonna know everything, probably, right? Do you have any proof of that? I pretended to remain calm. Maho seemed shocked at her own words. I'm sorry. I'm being weird. I can't believe I said something so delusional. This is hard to figure out what's going on. Maybe she's using the tears to get the fact that I was a time traveler out of me. And then if I let her know that I'm a time traveler and that I know like the time machines and shit, Dr. Leskinen's gonna know. Because that's the only reason she's here is because he brainwashed her. What's gotten into me? I didn't mean to cry. She used her fingers to wipe away the tears. She seemed pretty unstable. I could sense a lot more fragility than I'd seen before. She looked like she'd been psychologically pushed to the limit. all the things she must have experienced have taken a toll on her. I'm surprised this didn't happen last time. Like, I'm surprised not answering was a Maori ending, because she went through a whole lot more on the Maori ending. When we were talking on video chat, I hadn't seen any signs of that at all. Should I tell her? If she was researching a time machine, that was a bad sign. She might start looking into things and open doors that should remain closed. If that was the case, I should tell her what I experienced and then have her give up just like I did. Fine. I'll tell you what I experienced. This is where shit is not gonna work out. Right here. Promise me you won't tell anyone. And I'll say this one more time. Don't get any ideas about saving Kurisu Makase. Got it? Maho nodded as she wiped away the tears. It's just fake tears, man. It's crocodile tears. It ain't gonna happen. Oh no, you told her. This is why it's the bad ending. The events about the time machine, about reading Steiner, about the method of sending memories back in time called the time leap, and how Kurisu developed a time loop machine that made this possible, and about Suzuha Amane, the time traveler from the year 2036, and about the future Suzuha had told about. Oh my goodness. In the Third World War. You just spilled everything. Maybe that's why, because in the last one, in my ending, in the Maori ending, I told her all that shit right there. I told her about everything that happened, whereas before I wasn't able to because we got out of there before that. But now, because she's been brainwashed by Dr. Leskinen, when I tell her this stuff, she's going to report it exactly back to him. That's how it's gonna go. That's how it's gonna go. When I told her everything, she fell silent for a bit. Whew. She took a deep breath, frowned, and rubbed her temples. My head hurts. You don't need to believe it all. You can think I'm crazy if you want. It doesn't bother me. But if you insist on continuing to research a time machine and save Kurisu Makase, I'll do whatever I have in order to stop you. So give up any ideas you've got. Stop pushing yourself so hard. I was about to say more, but Maho put her hand up to stop me. Let me get this all straight in my head a little more. This reading Steiner you told me about, it's not the new encephalitis? And the symptoms match what Dr. Leskinen told me about. That's true. It might be. I still don't know whether I should tell him or not. It may just confuse him for no good reason. What do you think? Don't ask me, please. Maho was still massaging her temples with her fingers. That's true. Sorry. Did you really destroy Kurisu's laptop? Yeah, I did. Did you see what was on it? I didn't know how to crack the password. There was no way I could. Even Daru couldn't do it. There was no way I could do it on my own. Did you read the original paper on the time machine that Kurisu wrote? No. She's digging for answers. She is digging so hard for answers. She seemed to be in some kind of strange hurry. Do you know how Kurisu made her time machine? The basic ideas. Could you recreate it? I don't know. Maybe with Daru's help? So you could, right? It would be too difficult to do on my own. What about me? Don't even think about it. She's gonna cry again. Maho suddenly grimaced as if she was in pain. I realized how pale she was.
平城さん
Hyajo,
大丈夫か
are you okay? Did she really have a headache or something?
少し横に
Do you want to lie down? But she shook her head and kept asking questions.
タイムマシンは
Where's the time machine
どこに
now?
鈴葉さんが乗ってきたという
The one Suzuha used.
それ
Where
は
is
ど
it?
こに
お
どこなの
Where? I wasn't sure if I should say without Suzuha's permission.
秋葉原だ
Akihabara. I understand why it's the bad ending now. Maho looks so desperate that I found myself answering her
時
question.
間の屋上に
It's still there on the top of the radio building.
そう
I see. Her shoulders slumped and her head drooped. I was worried that she might ask to see it for herself, but maybe she really was sick.
本当に平気か
Are you really okay? I put my hand on her shoulder and looked at her face.
今日はもう
You should rest for today. There was no warning at all. Maho's tiny body slammed into me. The force was enough to push me back into the wall.
何を
What are you... Before I knew what was happening, her arm was against my throat. She was using the bone in her arm to put pressure on my windpipe. I couldn't breathe or speak. I twisted my body and tried to resist, still clueless as to what is going on. Then she used her other hand to grab my head and slam it back into the wall. Her strength was incredible. I was a lot bigger than she was, but I still couldn't escape her grasp.
残念だわ
I'm sorry, Okabe. Her voice was dark and very cold. And suddenly she moaned again, and her face twisted in pain.
頭が
My head feels like it's about to explode. She was crying again. Why?
なんで私に
Why did you tell me?
くれたのよあなたは
You shouldn't have said anything. I couldn't escape. I grabbed onto her hair and tried to pull her away, but she didn't move at all. It was as if she felt no pain. My phone had been vibrating in my pocket for a while now. I desperately grabbed for it. I pressed the button without even looking at the screen. Please answer, Kurisu. Kurisu. I was blackening out. Was I going to die here? Without even knowing why Maho was trying to kill me? But the whole time she was strangling me, Maho looked like she was in so much pain. And wait, was she still crying? Before I could figure out if her tears were real or an act, I passed out. Holy shit. Holy shit. When I woke up, my throat hurt. I tried to cover my mouth with my hands, but something was keeping them from moving. I opened my eyes and saw that I was sitting in some kind of chair with my head facing downwards. I slowly raised my head. My hands were tied to the armrest with zip ties. When I tried to break out, the ties dug into my skin and hurt very badly. I tried looking around. One decision changed this whole story. From this to... oh my goodness. If I would have decided to be rude and answer my phone and talk to Kurisu, this would have happened. Oh my god. Just one decision. There were time machines that looked like they belonged in the operating room of a hospital. But the wall was also lined with monitors, like some kind of guard room or control room. I couldn't see any windows, so I had no idea where I was. Someone. My throat hurt when I tried to talk. And then I remembered that Maho had almost killed me. Why had she done that? I felt more confused than angry.
Yeah, Rintaro.
Hey, Rintaro. You're awake? I heard footsteps and a wavering shadow beneath the dim fluorescent lights in front of me. I knew that voice. What?
Leskinen.
Dr. Leskinen? How do you feel? If you're thirsty, I can get you some water. When I looked again, I saw that he wasn't alone. There were several men behind him in black suits. They were looking at me without saying a word. All of them were holding guns. They looked like men in blacks and reminded me of the foreigners I'd almost run into at Jar's shop 6 months ago. Or was it the same group? What's going on here? There were a lot of things I wanted to ask, but more than anything I wanted to know why Dr. Leskinen wasn't helping me. Of course, the first thing that came to mind was the obvious answer. It was Dr. Leskinen who had put me there, and Maho had captured me under his orders. But I didn't want to think about that. Where are we? So all I could ask was a stupid question like that. I was right. You truly are a treasure trove of information. Right now, you're as valuable as the President of the United States. He didn't answer me, but he showed me a self-satisfied smile. I could feel alarm bells going off in my head. I was getting more suspicious of Dr. Leskinen. Am I imprisoned here? It would be more accurate to say you're under our protection. Once your value becomes clear, there will be a lot of people coming after you. Did you order this, Dr. Leskinen? That's right. I made the decision. After hearing about your information from Maho. Where is Hyajo? Resting in her hotel room, I imagine. Did Hyajo become my friend in order to extract information from me? That wasn't her original intent. In the end, that's how it ended up, though. And you too. Were you nice to me because you were after something? Just who are you? Nah, please calm down. I've told you before, haven't I? A scientist must remain calm at all times. Excitement is only allowed when the experiment is a success. Instead of feeling calm, Dr. Leskinen's attitude was pissing me off. I felt betrayed. There was rage, frustration, sorrow, and a lot of other things all mixed together as I gritted my teeth. Dr. Leskinen annoyed me and gave a brief order in English to the other men. They left the room. Only Dr. Leskinen and I remained. Now, Rintaro, let me tell you about my other job. Your other job? It was then that I remembered the other world line that I had been sent to. Shimoyama had told me about an American organization and had demanded that I be turned over. With the CIA, the NSC. But Dr. Leskinen only chuckled. Don't compare me to those idiots. They're just a bunch of useless government employees. Are you aware of an American civilian intelligence company called Strategic Focus? I do. I heard of them before, on a conspiracy theory website that the old me had read all the time. Strat 4. I remembered reading that they'd acquired top secret information on Russian ballistic missiles even the CIA couldn't get, and then sold it. The result was the destruction of the CIA's reputation, and at the same time, the total reorganization of Russia's military strategy. I'd even heard rumors during the that during the Gulf and Iraq wars they'd obtained information about the warring countries faster than anyone and spread it as needed. The world's government supposedly called them the Shadow CIA. You work for Strat 4. But I thought you were the chief researcher at the Brain Science Institute. That's my real job, of course. By the way, I often run into people who tell me the exact same things. They tell me that humans are just monkeys that murder each other. The human brain and the development of the neocortex are what give rise to crazy religions and crazy ambitions, and that's why there are wars. But every time I hear that, I think to myself, that's stupid. It's nonsense. Who could believe something so silly? So, why do humans fight all these useless wars then? Do you know, Rintaro? It's because of information. All human beings are a part of a certain community, a certain colony, if you will. Each individual thinks he's acting on his own, but in fact all our brains are connected by the information distributed by our community. And thus we are forced to live as members of a herd, whether we like it or not. Let me give you an example. Well, as examples go, it's not the best, but the worst massacre in history, which was carried out by a certain European country, did not take place during the dark ages of the witch trials. It was halfway through the 20th century in a time machine, or in a time when the atomic bomb already existed. And the country that carried it out was one of the most civilized on Earth. We'll leave the question of their leader's sanity to the historians, but what about the people who were actually on the ground doing the killing? Were they simply murderous monkeys? No, they were people, like any others you might find. Speaking as a brain scientist, I am certain that if I were to examine each one of their brains, I would find nothing wrong with them at all. But once they received the wrong information, their brains became capable of murder without remorse. The wrong information? This is our job. We are in the right, and anyone who does not obey is evil. That information. What are you trying to say? There needs to be someone who can control the information given to these fragile things we call brains. And that is the ultimate goal of strategic focus. As I am in complete agreement with that goal, I work as an agent for them, in addition to being a brain scientist. Do you understand? I don't. That's just the kind of monologue a villain gives in the movies. In the end, all you're doing is selling information for money. You said I'm a treasure trove of information, right? Who are you gonna sell information on the time machine to? America? China? Or the war zones in Africa and in the Middle East? All of them. Liskinen shrugged his shoulders and quietly laughed. It's just like nuclear weapons. Every nation needs them to act as a restraint against the others. Time machines aren't like nuclear weapons. No one even realizes if they've been used. The whole world might change without even the person who used it knowing. There's no way to restrain their use. This world will just keep changing and changing with no one knowing which country altered the world line or how. That's right. A time machine is a far more delicate thing than a nuclear weapon. That's why we need your power. All of you people, I should say. You could call it reading Steiner, as I recall. It seems to have the same symptoms as the new encephalitis. That's right. Dr. Liskinen was researching the new encephalitis too. We'd researched to the point where we realized the patients might be capable of detecting changes to the past. But we wanted proof. So does every intelligence agency in the world. They're desperately searching. I hated myself for not realizing the possibility sooner. I'd always had the wrong idea. I thought the reason the new encephalitis patients were brought together was to just give them meaningless treatment. But I was naive. Too naive. Dr. Leskinen and Strat 4's goal was to gather people with reading Steiner and study them. Maho just told me about all your amazing abilities. I had originally just hoped to get information about Kurusu's successes. But instead we got information on the new encephalitis. You are wonderful. To think this puts us a step ahead of the rest of the world. And why didn't you tell me about this sooner? If you hadn't, I wouldn't have to do so many things to your friend Katsumi's brain. Fubuki, no. And I wouldn't have to use the procedure on Maho's brain either. Even Hyajo. Was that why she was acting so weird? She's your assistant, right? She respected you. She looked up to you. The voice actors killed this dude. That's amazing. The voice actors are amazing. How could you use her in a human experiment? It was necessary to acquire information that will benefit all of humanity. And there's no need to panic. Both Maho and Katsumi will survive with only minor impairments to their brain functionality. You're insane. For the first time, I felt hatred and fear of the man in front of me. I couldn't believe that this was the same man I'd respected so much. If we investigate the brains of the patients who've contracted Reading Steiner, I'm sure we'll learn more. If we sell all that information along with the time machines, we can maintain the military balance of power across the world. We can avoid war. I want your cooperation too. Leskinen's mannerisms hadn't changed a bit, even as he spoke of these horrifying things. He spoke of the insane things in the same manner that Maho once described like a mischievous child. You tricked me, didn't you? You approached me just because I was friends with Kurusu. You tried to get information from me about Kurusu. I don't think I ever tricked you. It was just a coincidence that we first met. And it's true, the major reason I asked you to test Amadeus was your relationship with Kurusu. But it's also true that as I got to know you, I really did take an interest in you. I still wish you could be my assistant. But that's a separate matter. Remember what I said? You're as valuable as the President of the United States himself right now. I need to prioritize the company's work over my private feelings, for the sake of humanity's future peace. I'm sorry, Rintaro, but at the same time, I'm excited. I can't wait to see all the information you possess. Go to hell. I'm going to make a copy of your memory data. Your memories are going to be used in the Amadeus system. Interesting idea, isn't it? That way, even if you die in an unfortunate accident, your memories will remain. Oh, don't worry. I'm not interested in killing you. Humans are far weaker security than Amadeus. Once they taste pain, they'll gladly share information to escape it. Their security, when it comes to keeping secrets, is practically non-existent. Torture doesn't work on Amadeus, which means it'll be far more difficult to deal with you. The only reason I'm taking the memory data is to have a backup. Even if, for example, you were able to endure the torture and went insane, in the near future we'll be able to download your memories back into your brain. You attended my lecture, so you know this, right? We'll start by getting that memory data. And then you're going to tell me all kinds of things. We're going to be busy. Now, relax. Otherwise I can't extract the data correctly. Don't make that face. No one is coming to help you. This place is under Strat 4's control. No one knows about it but us. No one. I was too stunned to think. There was nowhere to run. My knees shook in terror as I imagined what was about to happen to me. Maybe it would have been better to die. And then I felt sick as I remembered that I was fated not to die until 2025. If no amount of torture could kill me, this was literally hell. Oh, whoa. Alright, so her head hurt. Didn't shut out the pain. There was an annoying noise in her head that wouldn't go away. It made the headache worse. No matter how much she covered her ears, she couldn't block it out. She wanted to scream in pain, but she held it in because she thought that it would only make her headache worse. She could hear a voice mixed in with the noise. It was Dr. Leskinen's.
警戒魔法君はどんな手段を使ってでもリンタロウ岡部が抱えている秘密を暴くんだでないと彼を殺さなくてはいけなくなるそんなのは嫌だろ君もリンタロウのことを随分と気にかけていたじゃないか
You seem to really like Rintaro, don't you? You and Kurusu kept bringing it up. After all, even if you weren't interested in him originally, you couldn't help but think about him. That's how the human mind works. And to save him, I want you to find out what he knows. If you do that, I'm willing him to bring to my lab unconditionally. Tell me everything you learned from him. You could say his future is in your hands. The voice and the noise were extremely unpleasant. She couldn't really understand what the voice was saying. She could hear him speaking, but her brain refused to understand the meaning of the words. But it didn't matter either way. Maho had done something terrible to Okabe Rintaro. She'd sold him out to Dr. Leskinen in Strat 4. And the fact that she knew it just made her guilt worse. She wanted to disappear from the world altogether. She was on a busy street in Akibara in early summer. She was leaning on the side of a building when she heard someone call her name. I knew it was you, Maho. She didn't expect to see Mayuri here, so she didn't know how to respond. She just looked back and stared. Alright, so we're gonna get into something here. We have reached like about, it's an hour and 9 minutes right now, but I'm gonna cut like a couple minutes off, because there was periods that I just skipped right past. So I'm gonna go ahead and end it here. If the next episode is like 10 minutes, we'll start on the next ending there, because I don't know how much is left of this bad ending, because we've been through a lot of it. So I'll see you guys in the next episode, whatever it may be. We'll work it out, and I'll update you guys later. Peace.